season 2 of Therapy
Season
Session.
2, episode 1. No, y'all missed us. I'd miss me too, but we're back.
We are back.
We're back.
Yes. So, and it is February already. It was just Thanksgiving.
It
Like
was
what
just
happened? Like what happened?
Thanksgiving.
And so a lot to cover in February, but we're
Mm-hmm.
starting with
Valentine's.
Valentine's. Yeah.
Valentine's horror. So, first spoiler alert. As always,
Mhm.
if you haven't seen the movies if you haven't seen every movie that they've made that relates to Valentine's Day, pause it and go watch and then come back.
Yes.
Especially if you've not seen either of the My Bloody Valentines, because at that point, what have you been doing?
Right.
So
Right.
yes, so spoiler alert. We're gonna talk about them. We're probably gonna breeze through this particular topic because
Yeah.
there's not like a ton of movies.
It's really not. It's not a ton of them. And it's really, when I was even looking it up, I was thinking to myself, what's the criteria, right? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, is it about romance? Is it about love? Or does it have to actually take place on Valentine's Day? Like, so how did you look it up?
It had to take place on Valentine's Day or involve Valentine's Day in some way,
Okay.
like that being the main
Yeah.
component.
So not just some loving, dating type situation. We want Valentine's Day in it.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk a little bit about which is our go-to, not so much favorite, because again, you don't think about it till Valentine's Day, right? There's
Right.
definitely, I have a more favorite, just more recently, but you
And
want
let's
to,
and let's be honest, they're not all that great. But
they're not.
anyway, that's not so the history of Valentine's horror starts pretty recently, only a couple of years before either of us were born. So,
Hmm.
not that far back, not like vampires or anything. Or zombies, but it can be traced back to 1981 with the Canadian slasher film My Bloody Valentine. And so we'll talk about that one a little bit once we get started. That one and the newest one. But it was released during this time of slasher films. And so I'm not surprised that they chose this topic.
Of course, it makes
I'm not
sense,
surprised.
honestly. Even though when you really break down Bloody Valentines, the actual situation doesn't completely correlate with Valentine's, but whatever, whatever. We'll get more into that. So, do you want to go ahead and get started with that one? Is that on your top list of Valentine's movies?
That is one of the 3 that I wanna talk about. I mean, because that's the original, right? And so My Bloody Valentine, 1981 surrounds a killer, in a mining town. So there was an incident years before. What is it? A year? I can't remember how
I
long
think it was like
before.
a decade prior.
Was it decades?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
I
know
can't
the
remember
new
the
one.
the timeline, but it had happened previously where the mining foreman and the director or whatever the folks are called that run the mines were skimping on some things and not paying attention and decided it was Valentine's Day, so they were going to go out and have fun, and they did not make sure that the miners made it back. And so several of them got stuck inside the mine when it collapsed, and when they finally found them, there was like one guy eating a leg.
Mhm.
So then we have the present time as in 1981, and folks are just getting
Classic slasher. Classic. Classic slasher for you
hmm
right there. And so, yeah. I mean, it kind of remind me of you remember the movie Prom Night?
Yes,
It
that's
reminded
exactly what
it's
it felt like.
literally Prom Night in a mine. 'Cause
Yeah.
that might have been a mine too. I guess mines were popular during this time.
But it
But
also reminds me of Black Friday. There's all like
mm,
it falls, even though it's a Valentine's Day movie, it falls clearly into that genre of someone was wronged
yeah.
and then they come to get their revenge. Like, I know what you did last
Mhm.
summer, all of that. That's what it's given.
So
Like, it feels like the original version of.
very formula type
Mm
situation,
hmm.
right?
Mm
And so
hmm.
I feel like 80s, late 70s, 80s, and 90s had like a very strict formula. Like you said, somebody was wrong. They come
Yep.
back a decade later,
Yep.
and everyone has forgotten about it.
Yep.
Well, I don't know. I know what you did last summer. They didn't wait a year,
Yeah. It
but the
wasn't
other
even.
ones waited some time.
Yeah.
But
But so my question for you though, talking about these 80s movies, and we'll have to do like an episode on 80s movies. Why was every guy in an 80s horror movie a complete weirdo, jerk, douchebag, and every girl was just ditzy
yeah,
and like, I mean, just airheaded.
and while you're saying that, I think of Carrie for some reason. Like that's how they very much was like these complete jerks. It gives you
Mm-hmm.
horror Mean Girls almost for the girls,
Yeah.
and these guys were always jocks. I think that's just what they thought teenagers were because you if you think about all of these horror movies, it's always teenagers,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so I feel like our society thinks teenagers are ditzy, basically, which is
I mean, just like running around screaming and like crushing beers and stuff. And the girls, Tommy, that's not funny. And I'm
not
like,
Tom. It's at least four
oh
Tommies in
my
movies.
God. But no, for this movie, what really irked my soul, and I was just like, if you don't leave her there, when they were in the mine and the one friend, I guess it was her boyfriend, he ends up getting killed in like the wildest way, and she's just devastated. And they're like, we
Mhm.
gotta go. He's down here. We got, no, I can't leave him. Like, I'd have left her. I'm sorry. You're his next victim, not me.
and
Goodbye.
and that's why ditzy movies last because in reality, if we were in that mine, the movie would be 15 minutes long. Okay.
First of all, we wouldn't have been in the damn mine. What are you
First
talking
off,
about?
yes, we wouldn't have been in the
How am
mine.
I about to be underground somewhere where it
My
collapsed?
allergies ain't that good. I can't be in the mine. I'm like, I can't breathe in the mine.
And I ain't got a canary? I'm not going down there.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, yeah, I think classic 80s, like you said, the formula was perfect. And the one that I added to my list, I know it was kind of like, do you like the before or the after, the remake or the original? I like the remake
Mhm.
better than the original. It's very hard to watch that original to me.
It's a little rough.
It's a little rough because I'm really big on the cinematography piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't catch my eyes, I can't do it. But I mean, I have seen it all the way through. But I will say the new one follows it to the T. In
Mm-hmm.
reality, they pretty much it's the same exact movie, same exact plot. It wasn't like a prequel or a sequel. It was the
No, it's the same
same
movie.
movie, but in 3D.
Did
So yeah.
I'm trying to remember because I didn't like I know the premise of the second one being exactly the same,
Hmm.
but did the girl in the second one in the beginning die the same way? Remember on the original she had she was down there making out with the guy in the mask. She
Hmm.
tried to take it off and she had like a heart tattooed right above her boob and he shoved her onto a pickaxe. Did that happen in the beginning of
You
the
know
thing?
what? I feel
Because
like
I
it
was like, this is
did.
ridiculous.
I feel like something similar, but I feel like the remake was more gruesome. Like
Yeah.
they didn't hold back on the blood and the
Right.
gore. And so it looked anything that looked corny in the original one, they made it like boom, gory in the remake. Can't honestly, I can't remember the two apart. To remember, the way she
Mhm.
died. I'm gonna have
Mhm.
to look it up and find this answer. I'm gonna put it at the bottom during editing to say,
I know that on the remake, the killing was faster. Like
mhm,
it was I don't want to say seamless. Like it was just smooth. And there
yeah.
was just like a
The action was up there. Like
yeah,
the action was like
yeah.
popping the whole time. Where in the original, we had to learn about the characters type stuff
Right.
in the original
In
one.
the original, you had this have to have time to sit here and boo-hoo over this guy and say
Right,
I can't leave him. And
right.
I'm like, huh? Where is the killer? Excuse
I
me,
I
Mr.
think
Mind person, can you come
now
take care?
correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like in a lot of these remakes, so this one, even the town who's the Sundown Town and the Jasons, the Michael Myers,
Mm-hmm.
they got faster too.
They did.
So the 80s, 90s, they were pimping Michael Myers. They all were the pimping, taking their time. But in all their remakes, they're a little faster. So I think that makes the action too. Because you're not about to catch me walking in
No,
any movie. And I'm not falling over air. So
I'm
but
not.
there are things to fall over in a mine.
There are, but again, yeah, I should have been down
You
there.
shouldn't have been down there.
So
So those are the original though.
yeah.
Well, that's the first.
Mhm.
So when we talking about Valentine, so the original, and then of course they had to remake it. I think it was very good to remake that. So what other movies are we on your list?
So if we want to kind of stay in chronological order, even though this one happened before the remake of My Bloody Valentine, I have Valentine. And so this one had some of our original early 2000 faves in it. I recently rewatched it and I was like, oh my gosh, is that baby Katherine Heigl? Like brown hair, just baby face. And it had a David Boreanaz in there, so Angel from Buffy. Richards. What's her name? Not Kyle. Denise Richards is in it, and then some other folks that I don't remember or recognize. I know the one girl she's been in a couple other horror movies too. But that one was, and this is another one of those where y'all are gonna think that we're messed up for this, but it is what it is. Don't bully people. Don't pick them.
Mean girl.
Like, there's no reason to be mean girls or nasty or cruel. So essentially, what happened in this film is there was a kid, his name was Jeremy Milton. Milton, I think, was his name, and he was your typical dweeb looking kid. And he went. There was the Valentine's Day dance at the school. He asked all the girls if they wanted to dance, and they turned him down in a really rude way. One didn't. It wasn't as rude. She was just like, maybe later. And then there was this young girl who was a bit heavier than everybody else. And he walked up to her and asked her if she wanted to dance. And she said yes. And then they cut to them making out under the stands. And then the mean boys from their grade find them under the stands making out and they're making fun. And they called her Buffalo, which was so nasty. Like, and so she then reacts by like pushing him off and was like, oh, he attacked me. He attacked me. And they were like, oh, so he's a pervert. And so then they pounce on him, beat him up, attack him. She keeps saying that he attacked her. And then what we find out is he got sent to a reform school. I think he was in and out of jail. His parents died in a fire and all this stuff. But basically, he came back to get them. And he's wearing this like Cupid face.
As he should have.
Mask. Right. And like one by one, he's taking them out. Now he's taking out some other people too, but he's mostly focused on them. But the plot twist, which I figured it out the first time I saw it, and I can understand why people would be confused when I watched it the second time. But the killer is David Boreanaz. He's the main character's boyfriend the whole time. And the cop had said, this guy could look different. He could have had plastic surgery. He could have done this and done that. But yeah, and he actually survived. This was like, they go on to have what appears to be a happy ending after he got rid of all of her friends. And he survives the movie.
And you know what? I find, like, when you first brought this one up, I was like, I don't think I've seen this. But hearing you talk about it, it popped right back in my head when you gave the synopsis about Under the Stairs. And I'm like, remember this. My view on it then and now are different. Because I think I was still I was in a very soft and innocent era in 2001, early 2000s, where I'm like, oh man, that's so, he should get in trouble for that. But as a now mom, I'm like, he deserves a happy ending. Be nice to people. Don't do people dirt. They ruin his life. And just think about the focus and the intention you have to sit quietly and get to know someone, get in a relationship with them, do the things so that you can have this perfect plot. Yeah.
He was dedicated to all of it.
He had to be a millennial or a Gen X. He had to be, because I don't see anyone else.
I mean, nobody else would take that much effort into revenge for a Gen X or millennial.
Yeah, had to be. But that one, I think, to your point, it gives Mean Girls, it gives Prom Night, it gives all those classic. I'm poor. You do somebody wrong, they come back and get their revenge.
It's karma.
Yeah, it's karma.
In a bloody form.
People don't understand why we like horror, because it shows karma every time. If you do what you're supposed to do, you will be okay. That's why I love it. They're not coming for me.
Not at all.
So yes, I think that's a very, very good one to be on the list.
Well, now that whole theory or feeling goes out the window with your number 2. Oh, because there was nothing karma about what they decided to do.
Yes. So we're talking about the Hard Eyes one?
Yes. We're talking about Hard Eyes.
So the thing with I love Hard Eyes. So this one is fairly new. I think it came out in the last couple of years, maybe even 2024 or 5, maybe.
I think so. It came out within the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I know it was post-COVID.
Yes, yes, and it does have Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son in it. So I can't remember his name, but his last name is the same to that. But he also played on Scream, so he's becoming kind of a Scream king, and I love that. And so basically, the synopsis on this is there is a serial killer going around killing couples, right? And so that's almost as bad as like being a online dating serial killer, which we covered that in one of our sessions. But with this one, he's going around finding couples, and on the most intimate, like, romantic moments, he's offing them. The problem is, with this particular couple, they're not a couple. They just look really cute together.
They just happen, like, they get mistaken for a couple because they run into her ex and his new girlfriend, she did dump him. The main character did dump this guy. But anyway, they run into the ex and his new girlfriend, and she kisses the guy, and it looks like they're
Yes.
together. And so when the killer, when Hard Eyes is out scouting for their next victim, which was going to be her ex-boyfriend and the girlfriend, they see them kissing.
Yes. And just so I can say his name, Gooden, Mason Gooding, not just Cuba Gooding's son. But nonetheless, so they're co-workers. That's now they would be a cute couple. But
they did bump into each other in the beginning of the film.
Prior to him getting hired, I think.
She busted his nose and his eye. Clumsy.
Yes. And I think they were getting coffee. They were both trying to get coffee
and they had
or something.
The same order.
Yeah. And so Karma is saying, and clearly the killer thought they were a couple. So, I mean, put it together. Y'all need to get together, right? But nonetheless, they are running from this killer in this mask with hard eyes. I believe it's is this a Netflix movie?
It's on Hulu.
Okay, Hulu. Okay, Hulu makes the best scary movies. But nonetheless, so this is definitely one of those that if you have not seen this, watch it on Valentine's Day. I think this is one of those. I think this has become one of my favorite for Valentine's. It is gory, but there is actually a plot.
Hilarious
too.
They're goofy.
Is it a romantic horror comedy?
I think it is. That's what I would call it. A romantic horror comedy, because why? Like, okay, again, as I said in the beginning, she is pining over this guy that she broke up with. They meet in the coffee shop. They have the same exact order. The barista's like, this isn't a coincidence. Your order actually is pretty common. Can you move it along? And then she drops something, bends down, busts his lip. Then he goes down, busts his eye. She runs. She throws napkins at him and runs out.
And that's the energy of the whole movie, really.
The whole movie.
Like they're constantly, something's happening, even when the kissing scene where he's trying to make somebody jealous or something. It all just worked perfectly.
And then when he got mistaken to be the killer and got arrested, and he in the back of the cop car, and they just arguing like they've been married forever.
The chemistry was real.
It was real.
Yeah. So definitely, if you had to pick one movie, in my opinion, that you haven't seen, definitely watch this. Definitely go back and watch all of them, of course. Yeah. But this is a good one to watch with like a date.
Yeah.
Because it gives you the romantic, the comedy, the horror all in one. So it's a really good one.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. So let's talk about this is what I haven't seen. It's on my list to watch. So tell us about your next one.
So my next one, leave it to Tubi to make me feel like I could be a movie star.
At least a director.
Listen, my husband and I were like, I wonder how much Tubi actors and actresses make, because that could be another side hustle. Because they are terrible. These movies are so bad. The acting is awful. And so the movie that I watched was Valentine Daze with a Z. So just know, anytime you see anything and the title has a Z where the S is supposed to be, 99.9% sure it's going to be a zombie movie.
Just examples. World War Z. Okay. What is zombievers? Like, these are zombie movies. So if you don't like zombies, avoid these.
Yeah. You see a movie where a S should be there and it's a Z, just already know what it is. And it's bad. It's hilarious because it's so bad. But basically, it seemed like it was supposed to be a one-night stand. This older guy and this woman, they meet. They hook up. This is like truly corny. She rolls over the next morning. He's standing either looking out the window or on the balcony. And she goes, will I ever see you again? And he says something absolutely corny. And then you fast forward to him having some kind of interaction with the mob or some high-powered people. And it turns out like he might have been a hitman. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, zombies just show up. Yeah. And it's like people just kind of turn into zombies, and they turn purple. And so they purple, and then they've got like these weird looking zigzag veins or whatever you want to call it. And they don't have to be bitten. So his little boo thing. So before she turns, because she does turn, he proposes to her over the phone. Ladies, have a little more self-respect for yourself.
Listen, that's a no.
Men, try harder.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just try harder. No, you're not about to propose.
You gonna come over and try again. Don't propose to me on the phone. Graham or something. Something.
With the ring.
Listen.
Like, why are we doing this over the phone? But anyway, she turns while she's doing her makeup in preparation to go on a date with him that night. And she's just sitting there doing her makeup, and then she just starts to convulse and turn purple. And you see that kind of happen a couple of times. And then
it's a lot going on.
It's a lot. And then you got these random people who are on top of a mountain standing in a circle. and like they're zombies, but like they're it, y'all.
Tubi, you Tubi will every time.
And it
Yeah,
was and it was based during Valentine's Day,
and I mean that's the only requirements to be a Valentine's horror. You just
mhm,
got to be on Valentine's
mhm.
Day. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put this on my list. I'm going to make sure there's alcohol involved when I watch it, so that I can truly get into
Oh my
it.
gosh, be prepared to cackle. Be
Mhm.
prepared to cackle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm telling y'all are about to be like, you know what? I can be an actor.
And you can do
I can be an
anything you want to do.
actress.
Yes.
Don't be surprised if y'all see me in a Tubi movie
So
coming
let
up
me.
soon.
Was there any real love? Was
It
there?
was them.
That's it. Did they? And so I gotta watch this movie. I
Yeah.
have to. I have to see this in real life. Yes.
It was just them. There was one point they were on a bridge somewhere, and she's like, "Find me that boat," and he was like, "Is that what you want? Because I'll buy it for you." And she's like, "Well,
What,
what
ma'am? What
does
do you
this have
want?
to
That's
do
why the zombie.
with
You know what?
anything?"
That's what her corniness is why the zombies came. That's I'm
It
convinced.
was,
She is her fault. Yep. 100%.
uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
watch it. Be just utterly.
It's a
I,
Valentine's movie. We didn't
oh,
say it was a good
we did
one.
not say it was good.
Just watch it.
Mm.
Yeah. So my final one might be one. I think you said you hadn't seen this one either,
No, I
and
hadn't.
I just realized evidently it might be a remake. But it's called Down. And this is a one of those Hulu in the dark ones. And so there is a movie that was made in like 2001 called Down. This one was made in 20 maybe 16 or so, 2019 to be exact. So basically, it's about these two individuals. One of the people that well, they're going to this building like a business building, and it's Valentine's Day, of course. And so it's a thriller. They both get on the elevator. The man is there. He was there for an interview. The woman was there because she just works in the building, and for whatever reason, they get stuck in the elevator, and so they are like trapped. Everybody's gone. Nobody's looking for them. A lot of different things happen. They end up like losing their whole mind. Comes to find out that the guy originally he was supposed to be somebody who was going there to do something. It's a psychological thing and it's almost a whodunit in a way because it's like how did you get there? Why are you there? And so basically they call them even the summary says they're co-workers, but he was actually there to like do an
Yeah,
interview
to
or
get a job.
something to get a job. But again, this is one of those in the dark ones. So every holiday Hulu does like something. It could be if it's St. Patrick's Day, if it's Thanksgiving, and they're typically pretty good. This one is no exception. It's really good. At the end of it, I'm not going to tell you who because there's only really two people in the whole movie, so
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away of who did what. So you're gonna have to watch it to get that. But I personally like it. It made me have so many questions because I'm like, why are they completely alone? Why didn't nobody come save them? Like, what is the deal?
I think one of the points in watching the trailer, they had mentioned the long
It
weekend.
was a long weekend, and so they were there. I want to say they were there from Friday evening until maybe like
It
for a
meant
couple of
Tuesday
days.
morning.
Like they starving,
Yeah,
they thirsty, they're going through it.
because it was Valentine's Day and then President's Day.
Yep. Yes, correct. It was like the 13th to the 15th, I think
Hmm.
is when they were there. So, and they were like, oh, happy Valentine's Day. Then, of course, before it's all said and done, they turned it against each other, of course,
Yeah,
because you are in an elevator with a stranger. You don't know them. You don't know if they, what sinister stuff has happened while you're there with them. And it
right.
ended up being some pretty evil stuff that went down. And so I think this is another good one to watch. Like I said, it's a thriller. It's a whodunit.
Hmm.
And I love a good whodunit. If you could put whodunit with some horror, it's amazing. So it's definitely a good one to check out. And do not get it confused with the other Down because that one is like an
The
action.
possessed
Yes,
elevator.
yes, it's some other stuff going on. This
Yeah,
one is Hulu Into the Darks Down. So make sure you check that one out. It, let's see, does that kind of wrap up our list?
I think so. They're like if you search for it, they give you several different movies that fall within that category. One that I really wanted to watch, but I could not find it anywhere. We did eventually find it on some like random weird website. Was I think it was called The Sinful Nuns of Saint
Mm-hmm.
Valentine. I did not finish it because I tried to start watching it, but it was
Mm-hmm.
all in Italian, and because it was a movie from 1974,
The subtitle.
couldn't get the subtitles on it.
Mhm.
So, I mean, for all I know, it could have absolutely nothing to do with it. I just know that I
I mean,
saw.
Saint Valentine.
Right,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. And when I looked up Valentine's Day movies too, one that popped up, but it doesn't make sense why is Night Return of the Living Dead 3. which I love that movie. It's one of my favorites from like that franchise, Return of the Living Dead, and it's like it's a love story about a guy who girl got killed. He took her to the facility to bring her back as a zombie, of course, and then she goes killing everybody. Very very cute love story. They did not live happily ever after. They maybe died happily ever after. I don't know, but I'm not sure. It didn't take place on Valentine's Day, but that came up, and so I think it depends on how you kind of do the criteria for Valentine's Day. What comes up. So,
Right.
but yes, but tell us what we missed. What's your go-to Valentine's Day horror movie? Is there other ones that you consider Valentine's that we didn't add? So yes, so yeah, that is really a small genre. So I don't
You know,
um
it takes a twisted mind to take a day that's supposed to be about love.
I mean
And
I feel like I could make
right?
a good one.
Oh,
I'm just saying
absolutely.
I could probably yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's any budding directors or producers out
Hmm.
there, make a good one.
Yeah, or if we missed something else is on Tubi, Netflix, let me know because
Yep.
I don't mind doing some binge watching on Valentine's Day because love is horror for me. So you want to tell them where they can see us?
So you can watch us on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
So thank you for watching with us, and we look forward to chatting with you guys on the next session.